me see if I'm on Twitch. Okay, let me check. Okay, so there's that. Now I go home. Yeah, I still have my my streams over from last stream. um so I've been a Christian now. So I'm a little over 40 years old. I've been a Christian for about 32 years. Um, so most of my life. Um, I was baptized as a teenager. And so I went to church or off and on, but I've read scriptures ever since I was little. Um, and then I saw the Mandela Effect, and it turned my world upside down. And then I started. When you look to prophecy, it starts saying stuff like men will act like women, and women will act like men, and you won't be able to trust. You won't be able to trust. Like the religious authorities. Um, and earthquakes in diverse places, which has been all over the place. And even in Enoch 80, it says it says that it's that the everything on the earth shall be altered and changed, um, which I think goes with the Mandela effect, even with going along with Second Thessalonians chapter 2, where it says um, that Satan will come with flying signs and wonders before the appearing of the Antichrist, which, yeah, that's something. But I thought I would look here at the Book of Enoch here. Let me get rid of these extra tabs for now. So this is the Book of Enoch on. Let me move myself out of the way. And just, I'll look at it though. Okay. So it says the Book of Enoch, trained by MNIB of the Ethiopian Text in the SOAS Library of University of London. So for chapter 1 of the Book of the Watchers, it says, "These are the words of the blessing of Enoch." He's the guy that walked with God and didn't die because God took him. According to which he blessed the chosen and righteous who must be present on the day of distress, which is appointed for the removal of all the wicked and impious. And Enoch began his story and said, "There was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Lord, and he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed to me. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw, but not for this generation, but for a distant generation that will come." So it's way, way off in the future from Enoch's time. Yeah. "Concerning the chosen I spoke, and I uttered a parable concerning them. The Holy and Great One will come out of his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread from there upon Mount Sinai, um, like Jesus returning. He will appear with his hosts and will appear in the strength of his power from heaven, like Jesus returning with his angels. Um, And all will be afraid, and the watchers will shake, and fear and great trembling will seize them up to the ends of the earth. And the high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be laid low and melt like wax in a flame. And the earth will sink, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed, and there will be judgment upon all, and upon all the righteous. So that's, yeah, when everyone's judged from scriptures. God didn't say that God told us that he wouldn't destroy the earth again by a flood. He said he'd destroy it by fire. And yeah, this is what happened. See, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed. Yeah. Um, by fire. But for the righteous, he will make peace, and he will keep safe the chosen, and mercy will be upon them. They will all belong to God and will prosper and be blessed, and the light of God will shine on them. And behold, he comes with 10,000 holy ones to execute judgment upon them, to destroy them pious, and to contend with all flesh and concerning everything that the sinners and the pious have done and wrought against him. Now, where have we seen this again before? It says he comes with 10,000 holy ones. Well, let me see if we can uh, comes with 10,000 angels. Pretty sure that I am being stupid today. Jesus comes with 10,000 angels. Um, I think I said Jude 1:14. Yeah. Let's go. Let's see. Books. Jude 1. Raging waves of sea, fuming on their own shame, wandering stars to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness. That should be um, forever. Um, forever. 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 I'm just highlighting that. Um, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, 10,000 of his Satan. Ah, see, 10,000 to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches with ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So even Jude is speaking to the book of Enoch here. Wasn't there another Revelations 5:11? So Revelations 5. Build, I heard the mighty voice around the throne, the beast and elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands. Oh, that's probably not it. Okay, so we'll go back to here. All right. I contemplate all the things in the sky, how the lights in the sky do not change their courses, how each rises and sets in order, at their each at their proper time, and they do not transgress their law. Consider the earth and understand from the work that is done upon it. from the beginning to the end, that no work of God changes as it becomes manifest. Consider the summer and the winter. The whole earth is full of water, and the clouds of the dew and rain rest upon it. I contemplate and see how the trees appear withered, and all their leaves are stripped, with the exception of the 14 trees which are not stripped, which remain with the old leaves until the new come after 2 or 3 years. And again, contemplate the days of summer, how at its beginning the sun is above it. You seek shelter and shade because of the heat of the sun, and the earth burns with scorching heat. You cannot tread upon the earth or upon a rock because of its heat. I contemplate how the trees are covered with green leaves and bear fruit, and understand in respect of everything, and perceive how he who lives forever made all these things for you. Yeah, you can look at everything around you and just see, um, just see how intricate and detailed everything is that we had to have a creator. God created. It's not just some random thing. Um, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So, and how his works are before him in each succeeding year, and all his works serve him and do not change. But as God has decreed, so everything is done. And consider how the seas and the rivers together complete their tasks. But you have not per, persevered in nor observed the law of the Lord, but you have transgressed and have spoken proud and hard words with your unclean mouth against his majesty. You heard of heart. You will not have peace. Because of this you will curse your days, and the years of your life will destroy. An eternal curse will increase, and you will not receive mercy. In those days you will transform your name into an eternal curse to all the righteous, and they will curse you, sinners, forever. I don't think they will curse you forever. Um, they will be somewhat remorseful of the people that are in heaven with us, because Jesus told us that we're supposed to love everyone. Um, even if they're terrible or act ugly towards us, love the sinner, not the sins, not what they do, because that's bad. For the chosen, there will be light, joy, and peace, and they will inherit the earth. Yeah, they will. Even scriptures agrees with that. Inherit the earth. But for you, the impious, there will be a curse, not necessary curse, but punishment, which I would say just as bad, really. When wisdom is given to the chosen, they will all live and will not again do wrong, either through forgetfulness or through pride. But those who possess wisdom will be humble. They will not again do wrong, and they will not be judged in all the days of their life, and they will not die of wrath or anger, but they will complete the number of the days of their life. Their life will grow in peace, and the years of their joy will increase in gladness and eternal peace all the days of their life. And it came to pass, when the sons of men had increased, and that in those days there were born to them fair and beautiful daughters. And the angels, the sons of heaven, well, the angels, I wouldn't say sons of heaven, uh, angels being God's creation, um, saw these women and desired them. And they said to one another, come, let us choose for ourselves wives from the children of men, and let us be, and let us, that's a Mandela Effect, beget, um, and let us, for our, take these women for ourselves, have children. And Samyaza, I think that's it, who was their leader, said to them, I fear that you may not wish this deed to be done, and that I alone will pay for this great sin. And they all answered him and said, "Let us all swear an oath and bind one another with curses, so not to alter this plan, but to carry out this plan effectively." Then they all swore together and all bound one another with curses to it. And they were in all 200, and they came down on Ardis, which is the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called the mountain Hermon because on it they swore and bound one another with curses. And these are the names of their leaders: Samyaza, who is their leader, Arakiba, uh, Arak, Araquel, maybe, Ramil, Kokabil. Kind of hard to say all these names. I'm gonna have to kind of skip those, but they are right here. These ones. These are the leaders of the 200 angels and of all others with them. And they took wives for themselves, and everyone chose for himself one each. And they began to go into them and were promiscuous with them. And they taught them charms and spells, and they showed them the cuttings of roots and trees. And they became pregnant and bore large giants, and their height was 3,000 cubits. Let's see how tall that is. How tall is 3 cubits? Um, 3,000 cubits. Okay, at an average historical estimate of 18 inches per cubit, 3,000 cubits equals 4,500 feet. Um, that is something else. Yeah, how could uh how could Nephilim be with woman if the size difference is that much later on? That's it's one of the biggest reasons theologians, historians, and readers point out several logical contradictions in the text. The bridges logical gap, but ancient text commentators and different faith traditions offer several explanations for how this union was physically or spiritually possible. Um, okay, they were born normal sized and grew exponentially. So yeah, that actually kind of would check out because with babies they would if you have a baby, they're tiny infants, and then they grow to kids, and then into adult form, which is quite. But say they had a growth factor that didn't stop, but their bones and stuff stayed strong. So in that sense, they would have to have a strong heart that so their body wouldn't uh, so that their each organs and stuff would be able to handle um, the mass, the size of the body as it grew bigger and bigger. So um, I guess that would be part of the Nephilim, part angel genes there, because it would have to be able to, like I said, biologically, it would have to um, be able to like the heart would be able to be strong enough to pump the blood and stuff throughout the body and everything else. Okay. But so they were really, really tall at some point. These devoured all the toil of men until men were unable to sustain them, and the giants turned against them in order to devour men. They began to sin against birds, and against animals, and against reptiles, and against fish. And they devoured one another's stuff, uh, and drank the red Kool-Aid, let's just say, from it. Then the earth complained about the lawless ones. That's yeah, that's extremely wicked. Um, and I, Azazel, taught men to make swords and daggers and shields and breastplates, and he showed them the things after these, and the art of making them bracelets and ornaments, and the art of making up the eyes, and of beautifying the eyelids, and the most precious stones, and all kinds of colored dyes. And the world was changed, and there was great impiety and much fornication, and they went astray, and all their ways became corrupt. It's like all the beauty and makeup and dyes and all that, fallen angels. So who knew? Huh? Emazarak taught all these who cast spells and cut roots, Moros that released of spells, and Baraquil, astrologers, and Cookabale, I think, Bile, portents, and Tamil taught astrology, and Azradel taught the path of the moon. And at the destruction of men, they cried out, and their voices reached heaven. So, angels taught humanity, um, God's chosen people, things that we probably shouldn't have known, and just made things overall worse. And then Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Uriel, I think Uriel, looked down from heaven and saw the mess of Kool Aid that was being shed on the earth, and all the iniquity that was being done on the earth. And they said to one another, "Let the devastated earth cry out with the sound of their cries up to the gate of heaven." And now to you, O holy ones of heaven, the souls of men complain, saying, "Bring our complaint before the Most High." Bring it before God. No. And they said to their Lord, the King, Lord of Lords, God of I wouldn't say God of gods because there's only one God. King of kings, your glorious throne endures for all the generations of the world, and blessed and praised. You have made everything, and power over everything is yours, and everything is uncovered and open in front of you, and you see everything, and there's nothing that can be hidden from you. And there's not anything that we do or anything that God does not know. God knows everything. So yeah, that checks out too. Um, see when see then what Azazel has done, how he has taught all in iniquity on the earth, and revealed the eternal secrets that are made in heaven. And Samaja has made known spells, he to whom you gave authority to rule over those who are with him. And they went into the daughters of men together, lay with those women, became unclean, and revealed to them these sins. And the women bore giants, and hereby the whole earth has been filled with Kool-Aid and iniquity. And now behold, the souls which have died cry out and complain unto the gate of heaven, and their lament has ascended, and they cannot go out in the face of the iniquity which is being committed on the earth. And you know everything before it happens, and you know this, and what concerns each of them. But you say nothing to us. What ought we do? What ought we to do with them about this? So this is the corruption that led to Noah and the flood. It's when it got overflowed and wickedness was all over the earth. Yeah, how else was God supposed to deal with it? If He didn't destroy it with fire, or yeah, water was definitely one of the options. Um, and then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke and sent Ars, Ars, I can't even pronounce that. Arsaladior to the son of Lamech, and said to him, "Say to him in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end which is coming, because the whole earth will be destroyed. A, dol- deluge, uh, deluge is about to come on all the earth, and all that is in it will be destroyed. And now teach him so that he may escape and his offspring may survive for the whole earth." And the further, the Lord said to Raphael, "Bind Azazel by his hands and his feet, and throw him into the darkness, and split open the desert which is in Judeo, and throw him there, and throw on him jagged and sharp stones, and cover him with darkness." I don't know where that is. Dudael. Um, where is Dudael located today? Oh, Enoch. Um, the mythical underworld prison described in the Book of Enoch as the site where the fallen angel Azazel is bound, because it is legendary and theological location rather than a modern site. It has no exact physical coordinates today. Um, Theories near Jerusalem describes it as an opening in a desert. Some historical and biblical interpretations place this general region in the wilderness east of Jerusalem or towards the Judean desert, Dead Sea area. Some traditions connect it conceptually to the rugged terrain associated with the Day of Atonement scapegoat ritual. Um, okay, outside of Jerusalem, that's near the same. Marginal or fringe theories attempt to link it to various arid expanses like the Negev desert or regions of the Middle East, though these are entirely speculative. Is viewed by historians as mythical landscape comparable to Tartarus, or underground pit within Sheol rather than physical place. So we still have no idea where exactly that is. Okay, and so that on the great day of judgment he may be hurled into the fire, like a fire, and restore the earth which the angels have ruined, and announce the restoration of the earth. For I shall restore the earth, so that not all the sons of men shall be destroyed because of the knowledge which the watchers made known and taught to their sons. And the whole earth has been ruined by the teachings of the works of Azazel, and against him write all sin. In all caps. All have sinned, but we kind of already know all have sinned as and fallen short of the glory of God, which these angels are continuing the helping man to sin. After the original first sin in the garden. So it just the evil keeps piling on, and since God allows free will, kind of allowed this. Unfortunate, but I don't know the thoughts and will of God. I just know that He puts trials in front of us, and at the end, our choices determine where we spend an eternity, whether it be in the lake of fire or it be with Him. And the Lord said to Gabriel, "Proceed against the be proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the sons of the fornicators, and destroy the sons of the fornicators and the sons of the watchers from amongst men, and send them out and send them against one another, and let them destroy themselves in battle, for they will not have length of days. They will petition you, but the petitioners will gain nothing in respect of them, for they hope for eternal life, and that each of them will live life for 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, go inform Samyaza and the others with him who have associated with the women to corrupt themselves with them in all their uncleanness. When all their sons kill each other, and when they see the destruction of their loved ones, bind them for 70 generations under the hills of the earth until the day of their judgment, and of their consummation until the judgment which is for all eternity is accomplished. Um, so I'm gonna stop there for just a second. Um, um, the angels being bound for 70 generations. How long exactly? Uh, so between 2,100 to 4,900 years. Uh, calculate the time if we have a rough um, um, estimate of when the flood from when the flood occurred, because the angels were probably found somewhere around there. Uh, that is based on biblical time. The Great Flood occurred roughly around um, 2,300. So, assuming that it's 2,000, so it's 2,000 years would be I mean, the 70 generations of binding would conclude anywhere between 400 BC and 2,600. Um, so between how the gap of that and we are actually near the more towards the tail end of the of this part. If you go like that, yeah. So okay. Okay, so under the hill. Yeah. Okay. And in those days they will lead them to the abyss of fire, in torment, and in prison they will be shut up for all eternity. They will be locked. They will be locked away for all eternity. And then some Yasa will be burnt, and from then on destroyed with them. Together they will be bound until the end of all generations, the end of all time, basically. And destroy all the souls of lust and the sons of the watchers, for they have wronged men. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and every evil work will cease. And now the righteous will be humble and will live until they, um, another Mandela Effect, beget thousands. They'll reproduce. And all the days of their youth and their Sabbaths they will fulfill in peace. And in those days the whole earth will be tilled in righteousness, and all of it will be planted with trees, and it will be filled with blessings. And all the pleasant trees they will plant on it, and they will plant on it vines, and the vine that is planted on it will produce fruit in abundance. And every seed that is sown on it, each measure will produce 1,000, and each measure of olives will produce 10 baths of oil. And you cleanse the earth from all wrong, and from all iniquity, and from all sin, and from all impiety, and from all the uncleanness which is brought about on the earth. And all the sons of men shall be righteous, and all the nations shall serve and bless me, and all shall worship me. And the earth will be cleansed from all corruption, and from all sin, and from all wrath, and from all torment. And I will not again send a flood upon it for all generations forever. So this is, yeah, this whole thing right there is what the fallen angels making the Nephilim, this the the knowledge that they gave humanity to increase in sins, and then the eventual flood that would wipe out um, the giants and all the wicked. So the only thing that was left was Noah, his family, and two of each kind that was on the ark. In those days I will open the storehouses of blessing which are in heaven, so that I may send them down upon the earth, upon the work and upon the toil of sons of men. Peace and truth will be united for all the days of eternity, for all the generations of eternity. And then Enoch disappeared, and none of the sons of men knew where he was hidden, for he was, or what had happened. And all his doings were with the holy ones and with the watchers in his days. And I, Enoch, was blessed. Man, my stomach was grumbling. And I, Enoch, was blessing the great Lord and the King of eternity. And behold, the watchers called to me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go and inform the watchers of heaven who have left the high heaven and the holy eternal place, and have corrupted themselves with women, and have done as the sons of men do, and have taken wives for themselves, and have become completely corrupt on the earth. And they will have on earth neither peace nor forgiveness of sins, for they will not rejoice in their sons. The slaughter of their beloved ones they will see, and over the destruction of their sons they will lament and petition forever. But they will have neither mercy nor peace. Look, I didn't create them to reproduce with women. So, yeah. So that ends up being a problem if you go against what, God's plan. I and Enoch, maybe 13.1. Oh. And Enoch went and said to Azazel, you will not have peace. A severe sentence has come out against you, and you should be bound. And you will have neither rest nor mercy, nor the granting of any petitions, because of the wrong which you have taught, and because of all the works of blasphemy and wrong and sin which you have shown to the sons of men. And then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid. Fear and trembling seized them. And they asked me to write out for them the record of a petition, so that they might receive forgiveness, and to take a record of their petition up to the Lord in heaven. For they were not able from then on to speak, and they did not raise their eyes to heaven, out of shame for the sins for which they had been condemned. And then I wrote out the record of their petition and their supplication in regard to their spirits, and the deeds of each one of them, and in regard to what they asked, that they should obtain absolution and forbearance. And I went and sat down by the waters of Dan, in Dan, which is southwest of Hermon, and I read out the record of their petition until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell upon me, and I saw a vision of wrath, that I should speak to the sons of heaven and reprove them. And I woke up and went to them, and they were all sitting gathered together as they mourned in Ubel Seal, which is between Lebanon and Sinur, which their faces with their faces covered. And I spoke in front of them all the visions that I had seen in my sleep. And I began to speak these words to reprove the watchers of heaven. So yeah, they did something unforgivable, and corrupted God's creation. So God created man because He wanted to have a relationship with us, and here the angels go, lusting after them and causing them to sin and teaching them magic and other stuff. Yeah. What did they think was going to happen? Did they think everything was going to be joy and happiness? I don't think so. This book is the word of righteousness and of reproof for the watchers who are from eternity, as the Holy and Great One commanded in that vision. I saw in my sleep what I will now tell with the tongue of flesh and with my breath, which the Great One has given men in the mouth, so that they might speak with it and understand with the heart. As he created and appointed men to understand the word of knowledge. So he created and appointed me to reprove the watchers, the sons of heaven. And I wrote out your petition, but in my vision, thus it appeared that your petition would not be granted to you for all the days of eternity, and complete judgment has been decreed against you. And you will not have peace, and from now on you will not ascend into heaven for all eternity. And it has been decreed that you will be bound on earth for all the days of eternity. And before this, you will have seen the destruction of your beloved sons, and you will not be able to enjoy them, but they will fall before you by the sword. And your petition will not be granted in respect of them or in respect of yourselves. And while you weep and supplicate, you do not speak a single word from the writings which I have written. And the vision appeared to me as follows: Behold, clouds called me in the vision, and mists called me. And the path of the stars and the flashes of lightning hastened me and drove me. And in the vision, winds caused me to fly and hastened me, and lifted me up into the sky. And I proceeded until I came near a wall which was made of hailstones, and a tongue of fire surrounded it. And it began to make me afraid. And I went into the tongue of fire, and came near to a large house, which was built of hailstones. And the wall of the house was like a mosaic of hailstones, and its floor was snow. Its roof was like the path of the stars and flashes of lightning, and among them was fiery cherubim, and their sky was like water. And there was a fire burning around its wall, and its door was ablaze with fire. And I went into the house, and it was as hot as fire and as cold as snow, and there was neither pleasure nor life in it. Fear covered me, and trembling took hold of me. And as I was shaking and trembling, I fell on my That's another Mandela effect. Um, as I was shaking and trembling, I fell on my knees, because that's when people pray and or afraid they do that. They don't fall on their face. Yeah. I saw in the vision, and behold, another house which was larger than the former, and all its doors were open before me. And it was built of a tongue of fire, and in everything it so excelled in glory and splendor and size, so that I am unable to describe to you its glory and its size. And its floor was fire, and above lightning, and the path of stars, and its roof was also a burning fire. And I looked, and I saw in it a high throne, and its appearance was like ice, and its surrounds like the shining sun, and the sound of cherubim. And from underneath the high throne there flowed out rivers of fire, so that it was impossible to look at. And he who is great in glory sat upon it, and his raiment was brighter than the sun, and whiter than any snow. And no angel could enter, and at the appearance of the face of him who is honored and praised, no creature of the flesh could look like Moses. It wasn't under wasn't able to look directly at God or anything, or he'd be burned alive. Even more so, I'd wonder if his soul would have been snuffed out too. That's really dangerous. But that's why he didn't want Moses to look at him. See, a fire burnt around him, and a great fire stood in front of him, and none of those around him came near to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, but he needed no holy counsel. And the holy ones who were near him, I think that's the angels, did not leave by night or day, and did not depart from him. And until then, I had a covering on my face as I trembled. And the Lord called me with his own mouth and said to me, "Come here, Enoch, to my holy word." And he lifted me up and brought me near to the door, and I looked with my face down. And he answered me and said to me with his voice, "Here, do not be afraid, Enoch. You righteous man, and scribe of righteousness, come here and hear my voice. And go say to the watchers of heaven who sent you to petition on their behalf, you ought to petition on behalf of men, not men on behalf of you. Why have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and become unclean with the daughters of men, and taken wives for yourselves, and done as the sons of the earth, and begotten giant sons? And you were spiritual, holy, living on eternal life, but you became unclean upon the woman, and begot. See, that's what it should have been: begot, not beget. Children through the blood of flesh, and lusted after the blood of men, and produce flesh and blood as they do, who die and are destroyed, who die and perish, mainly. For this reason, I give men wives, so that they might sow seed in them, and so that the children might be born by them, so the deeds might be done on the earth. But you formerly were spiritual, living an eternal, immortal life for all the generations of the world. For this reason, I did not arrange wives for you, because the dwelling of the spiritual ones is in heaven. And now the giants who were born from body and flesh will be called evil spirits on the earth, and on the earth will be their dwelling. And the evil spirits came out from their flesh, because from above they were created. From the holy watchers was their origin and first foundation. Evil spirits they will be on earth, and spirits of the evil ones they will be called. And the dwelling of the spirits of heaven is heaven, but the dwelling of the spirits of the earth, who were born on the earth, is earth. And the spirits of the giants do wrong, are corrupt, attack, fight, break on the earth, and cause sorrow. And they eat no food, do not thirst, and are not observed. And these spirits will rise against the sons of men, and against the women, because they came out of them during the days of slaughter and destruction. And that's so like we do not battle against flesh and blood, but like the fallen angels and also these evil spirits, because they are still walking the earth. Yeah, it's definitely true. Um, so let me go back to Firefox, because I do not know why it does that. In the death of the giants, wherever the spirits have gone out from their bodies, their flesh will be destroyed before the judgment. Thus they will be destroyed until the day of the great consummation is accomplished upon the great age, upon the watchers and the impious ones. And now to the watchers who sent you to petition on their behalf, who were formerly in heaven. You were in heaven, but its secrets had not yet been revealed to you. In a worthless mystery you knew. This you made known to women in the hardness of your hearts, and through this mystery the women and the men cause evil to increase on the earth. Say to them, therefore, you will not have peace. And they took me to a place where they were like burning fire, and when they wished, they made themselves look like men. And they led me to a place of storm, and to a mountain, the tip of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw lighted places, and the thunder in the outermost ends. In its depths a bow of fire, and arrows, and their quivers, and a sword of fire, and all the flashes of lightning. And they took me to the water of life, as it is called, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, whose fire flows like water, and pours out into the great sea, which is towards the west. And I saw all the great rivers, and I reached the great darkness, and went where all flesh walks. And I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and the place where the water of all the deep pour out. And I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. And I saw the storehouses of all the winds, and I saw how with them has adorned all creation. And I saw the foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth, and I saw the four winds which support the earth in the sky. And I saw how the winds stretch out the height of heaven, and how they position themselves between heaven and earth. They are the pillars of heaven. Nice. And I saw the winds which turn the sky and cause the disk of the sun and all the stars to set. And I saw the winds on the earth which support the clouds, and I saw the paths of the angels. I saw the end of the earth, the firmament of the heaven above. And I went towards the south, and it was burning day and night, where there were seven mountains of precious stones, three towards the east and three towards the south. And those towards the east were of colored stone, and one was of pearl, and one of healing stone, and those towards the south of red stone. The middle one reached to heaven, like the throne of the Lord of Sibium, and on top of the throne was of sapphire. And I saw a burning fire, and what was in all the mountains. I saw a place there beyond the great earth. There the waters gathered together, and I saw a deep chasm of the earth with pillars of heavenly fire, and I saw among them fiery pillars of heaven which were falling, and as regards both height and depth they were immeasurable. And beyond this chasm I saw a place, and it had neither the sky above it nor the foundation of earth below it, where there was no water on it, and no birds, but it was a desert place. And a terrible thing I saw there, seven stars, like great burning mountains. And like a spirit questioning me, the angel said, this is the place of the end of heaven and earth. This is the prison for the stars of heaven and the host of heavens. So that's where the fallen angels are in prison. And the stars which roll over the fire, these are the ones which transgress the command of the Lord from the beginning of their rising, because they did not come out at their proper times. That sounds like Enoch 80. Um, Wrong order and doing what they're not supposed to. Yeah. And he was angry with them and bound them until the time of the consummation of their sin in the year of mystery. So, one more chapter, and I'm going to have to pause this until next time because the nerves on my face is kind of acting up. It's getting hard to talk, but we'll get we'll get from 1 to 19, and then we shall do 20, chapter 20 next time. And Uriel said to me, the spirits of the angels who were promiscuous with women will stand here, and they, assuming many forms, made men unclean, and will lead men astray so that they sacrifice to demons as gods. So yeah, when you think of them making these their idols, they're not gods, just idols and fallen angels, potentially wicked spirits that they're worshiping. Uh, but yeah, it's just idols. Okay. And they will stand there until the great judgment day, on which they will be judged, so that an end will be made of them. And their wives, having led astray the angels of heaven, will become peaceful. And I, Enoch, alone saw the sight, the end of everything, and no man has seen what I have seen. And that is up to chapter 20. Bye. I hit that. Does it? Is it good? That'll go straight to 20. That's good. Okay. So, man, that must have been heavy with, Enoch. So, but we are stopping there. And I may do a gaming stream. Um, but I need to rest for at least a half an hour to an hour before I can go again. So I hope y'all are learning some from this. Um, this is what led to the flood happening with Noah and all the corruption with it. Is stuff that is beginning to happen again, as it was in the days of Noah. So too shall be the second coming of the Son of God when Jesus comes back. So awful thing that it's like, if you don't learn from history, you repeat it, and that's what's playing out. Seems to be the case for a lot of things, because even with like the news and everything else, we keep repeating the same bad mistakes over and over again. But yeah, I could ramble. We could discuss that forever, probably. Yeah. But we won't. But I will see you guys. Yeah, I will see you guys soon. And God bless and peace.